So, Great Lake Swimmers, good choice, good recommendation. Nick, again, I love it when Nick posts because Nick's posts are, people should read Nick's posts because he takes a lot of time going into this. You suggested Graham Collier, which I originally scolded you for recommending in C's. But this was pretty awesome, Nick. You linked a 13-minute audio montage of Graham Collier, and this was fucking trippy ass shit. By the end of listening to this, I thought I was listening to Ives. I don't know how many of you guys know who Ives is, but he was pretty crazy. This was great. I enjoyed it. I felt a bit, I felt like I stayed at a Holiday Inn. You know that? I felt a little smarter, a little classier. Good stuff. I'm not known to really like jazz that much. So, John, you suggested Gaslight Anthem. This band didn't do much for me. It was very Replacements-esque. But your second suggestion, which I'm so glad what you said here, you said you're going to ignore the recent band recommendation. It's fine. Everyone, I'm glad you did actually in retrospect because you suggested an older band, Graham Parker. I really didn't know much about Graham Parker at all. I knew who he was, couldn't tell you any of his music. This guy was underappreciated, you say, singer and songwriter from the late 70s and 80s. The song you suggested is awesome. I mean, I've listened to this now like 4 or 5 times. It's called Protection. It's really cool. I love the guitar riff in it. I just like this. I like this track. And his voice. I made a note here. His voice reminded me, had the same sort of shrill and tonality that David Sylvian had from Japan, which happens to be a band that I love, and it was pretty uncanny. And I'm sure, I don't know if anyone has ever compared the two. Okay, Ilif. What do you have here? Okay, Garbage. I understand why people like this, but I was always a bit so-so about Garbage. I felt like when I was watching this, it had that whole fishbowl thing. I was just looking, and I just couldn't really get into it. I never really was never was a Garbage fan. But the second link, Only Happy When It Rains, you did remind me that she was pretty hot. And it was sort of like Nicole Kidman. You know how a lot of films you're like, she's not hot, but every now and then you see a film and you're like, wow, Nicole Kidman's hot. Anyway, that's kind of what I felt like here. And then you had Greats, and I already talked about the Greats, which is the Australian band, and this song is even worse than the other song. I don't think I could... I guess I just really don't like this band. I think it's just no depth into any of this music that I heard, for me. And there wasn't a strong enough vocal line or engaging vocal line on top of a simple repetitive beat that just kept going, and I thought the video made it even worse. So, a bunch of stuff going on there. Amy White from the band, she goes with, I don't even know how to pronounce this, Gui Barato, a Brazilian electronic music wonder boy, she says. She says there's some depth to his electro jams, and Amy, you are right. I did find some depth in this, and I'm not just saying that because you're in the band. You happen to have a good sense of what I would like and what I wouldn't, and that's simply because we see each other so much and we're jamming all the time that you know what types of music that I'm going to probably gravitate towards. Okay, you suggested Goldfrapp, very diverse catalog, and yes, I'm sure you have been a fan from day one. This is a very Amy band. And the track you suggested, it's catchy and dreamy, and you're right. I do like this track, although for the most part, I'm not a big fan of Goldfrapp at all. But they do have a diverse catalog, but most of that I don't like. And then you go on to say that, yes, you did give me that Grizzly Bear record. So it's confirmed. Amy gave me my Grizzly Bear. Okay, Allison H. You say Grizzly Bear Live is where it's at. Otherwise, Golden Boots. Golden Boots is a Tucson band, Americana. It just proved too much for me after a while. I think I have to get back to me on the next record. Goldfrapp, again, you mentioned a song that, this is a side of Goldfrapp that I'm not into. But the interesting thing about your post is that you just have a link, and I thought this was another Goldfrapp song. It's not. It's actually a Go West video. This was the funniest fucking video that I've seen in all of G's. This was hilarious. Everyone should click on this because this is great. These guys were wearing jeans so high on their waist with skinny tight belts. This was just a visual disaster of a video, but I don't know if it was genius because there's an elephant doing handstands in this video. There's a pope. There's a gorilla, and then there's a guy with a jackhammer. I mean, this video is funny. You should watch this video. So thanks for making me laugh. I mean, it might not be the best thing, but if you make me laugh, that's still fucking great. Anyway. So, big highlight. Jason D. Jason, yeah, agrees with Amy and Ilif and for garbage. Okay, and Gus. Okay, you're right. You suggested Great White, and yeah, you're right. It's been tarnished because of that fire. Okay, I was never a big fan of Great White, but I did end up watching this whole video, and it wasn't that bad. I mean, you know what? How the hell do you even deal with the fact that you were like playing that show with that fire? I don't even know how you can deal with that. That's got to be pretty tough. But you know what? They've got a couple good songs. Kind of like Cinderella has a couple good songs. You ever listen to Cinderella? I think Long Cold Winter. Then you mentioned Gus again with Emiliana Torini. And gotta tell you something funny. I played this song, and when it ended, I had no idea that I even played it. It was like an auditory ghost. It was like